Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. This is BT Plays here, and today we are talking about the Crew Motorfest, because obviously it isn't too far now, but today we are talking about the good, the bad and everything in between when it comes to what to expect from the Crew Motorfest. But before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe if you are new, as it does help out the channel. But yeah, let's get into it and let's go and see what the first thing is to expect from the Crew Motorfest. So the one thing to expect from the Crew Motorfest, and from a lot of people that have played the beta as well, have said that the vehicles have some of the best sounds that they have heard in a car racing game, which is obviously nice to hear from a Crew fan, obviously playing the Crew to the Crew 2, now the Crew Motorfest as well. So it's nice to see that they are putting some effort into the engine sounds, and maybe, who knows, plane sounds, boat sounds, if they are a thing as well. But that was one thing that the Crew 2 sort of lacked. Some vehicles had very good engine sounds, some vehicles didn't. But apparently the Crew Motorfest has upgraded the engine sounds completely, maybe a whole new overhaul of the engine sound design and process. So hopefully when we go into the Crew Motorfest on the 11th or the 14th, whichever version you are getting, we should be able to see some new engine sounds and, have our ears filled with magical sounds that we haven't heard before, which is quite nice to expect. Now let's get into, obviously, the change of scenery, because the Crew and the Crew 2 have both been set in the United States. So is the Crew Motorfest, but it's not set in mainland United States. It is set obviously in Hawaii and the island of Oahu. So this is a very different change of scenery that we have seen before in this franchise, especially because, we are talking about an island here rather than a whole country. So I want to see if they have pretty much, every, well, not every single road, but as many roads as they can put into that map, because it is a very, very big map that they need to contend with. So yeah, one thing to expect is a complete change of scenery, and I'm sure Ubisoft and Ivory Tower have put a whole load of work into making this map incredible. And from screenshots and videos and leaks from the beta, you can see that the map does look very nice. But will it look nice on, obviously, old gen, because this game is still coming out for old gen? Will it look the same for old gen as next gen? Probably not, but hopefully it just looks good overall. And updates can come in the future to resolve any sort of graphics issues that do occur with the older gen consoles, but hopefully at the start it does work completely fine for every console involved. And yeah, a whole new map, and hopefully you are excited for the map as much as I am. One other thing to expect as well is your vehicles can be brought over from the Crew 2 over to the Crew Motorfest, and again, I'm not exactly sure how that will work, but hopefully, Ubisoft and Ivory Tower have probably got it planned out completely fine, and hopefully it works well. I'm just hoping that it's not a story like the Crew 2, where if you do an event, it has different tiers. So you go from, let's say you're in a street racing vehicle, and you start off base game, you have a 60 rated vehicle, and you can only complete normal events because that is pretty much all you can compete with. Whereas if you have these vehicles from the Crew 2 brought over into the Crew Motorfest, obviously they're quite high rated. So will there be any, unbalance issues there? Will it make you complete the game faster? Will it be unenjoyable because the events are just too easy? You don't have to, have that grind at the start of a game. Who knows? But I'm sure as soon as the game comes out, we will find out. But yeah, that is one thing to expect. Your vehicles can be transferred over into the Crew Motorfest. And with the transfers of vehicles as well, obviously comes with more vehicles in the Crew Motorfest. Apparently the Crew Motorfest will have the most vehicles seen in any Crew game, and I think in any other racing game as well, honestly, because like right now we have about 500 vehicles. So if you can bring quite a few of them over into the Crew Motorfest, they need to have other vehicles that are solely for the Crew Motorfest. So we have a lot of vehicles. Well, we're talking about a lot of vehicles here. So the Crew Motorfest, I think, will be the most populated game in terms of vehicles. And obviously, they do make vehicle models very realistic as well. Customization, they could do with better organization when it comes to that. But the actual models of the vehicles are, let's be honest, they are stunning, and they are some of the best in the the racing game area. So to be fair, I'm quite excited to see what other vehicles the Crew Motorfest does have for us. But yeah, that is another thing to expect. A lot of vehicles in this game. Another thing to expect as well is that there are reports there are still boats and planes in the game, as well as other various racing disciplines and stuff like that. We don't know exactly what them other disciplines are yet, but we do know boats, planes, and cars will all be in one game again, which is obviously great because people that like the planes and the boats in the Crew 2 can obviously use them in the Crew Motorfest now, and that allows people to upgrade their game to better performance and better graphics opportunities as well, which is a great move for Ubisoft and Ivory Tower. And who doesn't want to take a little boat ride or a plane trip around Oahu, especially with the pictures we've been seeing of the amazing map. It will be an amazing experience. But yep, there will be planes and boat back into the game. So hopefully, if I'm reading that right, we will have them back, which is quite nice to see. PvP is also back in the Crew Motorfest as well. PvP, I think there is a few online modes that will be added into the Crew Motorfest. There was two in the beta called Grand Race and Demolition Royale, I think they were called. And yeah, they were. And it also looks like PvP online modes will be back in the Crew Motorfest as well. That's obviously good for online players that like to play against other people because, let's be honest, the AI, especially in the Crew 2, are very predictable and quite easy to compete against, especially on Ace. They're pretty easy. So some people like to step away from the AI side of things and they just like to face an online person. And to be fair, hopefully they do upgrade the actual PvP elements because it was lacking a bit in the Crew 2. But if they upgrade it and they make it good, this could be one of the best racing games out. It could be one of the best racing games you can play if they actually sort out the PvP and make it a good PvP and online racer instead of just like a single player racing game where you can complete other races with friends against AI. If they actually put some effort in to making it a great online racer, yeah, this could be one of the best racing games out. And yeah, I'm quite excited to see if they have changed anything for these new PvP online modes. Hopefully they have, but we'll just have to wait and see on the 11th or the 14th. And the last thing that I expect the Crew Motorfest to have is the similar story layout that the Crew 2 has, where it's, a television series and you compete for fame and popularity. I could be completely wrong, but this is what I am predicting. I could be completely wrong, like I just said, but if it is, then we have had that in the Crew 2, and to be fair, it did work. It wasn't people's favourite approach to story mode, but it still worked in my opinion, and it gave people the freedom to do whatever they wanted when they wanted, instead of just putting them down a little narrow straight and going, you have to do this to get to that. You can just do whatever you want when you want, which I think makes the game more enjoyable because I'm not restricted into what I can do and what I can't do. So hopefully there is some sort of story format like that. If not, I would like to see a different approach, but either way, I just can't wait for the Crew Motorfest to come out. And if you are the same, don't forget to like and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next video.